Shalom, la b'chayayim shal yashala, peace be to the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of the 144,000 Hanabayayim, the prophets, which are all men, which will do the work and wake up the rest of the 1/3, which will be the numerous multitude of men, women, and children, whom are not prophets, but are believers, which will have faith in the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which Yahweh is the true, almighty, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the only begotten Son, who the world even calls Jesus Christ, which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Most High, and Yahweh Shai is the Son. Of course, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rechakodash. Ha Halayim La Alahayanawa Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rechakodash. All praises to our power, which is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Of course, B'Hashem Rechakodash is coming in the name of the Spirit Holy, or the Holy Spirit. And of course, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who were well. Shin Kabad La Shalayachim, now it was a Konim, now it Shal Yasha'ala, Godwala Rakab Ba'aith, which said double honor to our apostles and our elders. Great Millstone, Godwala Rakab Ba'aith is in these times. And of course, Shalom wa Chesed, peace and mercy, la b'chayayim, to the election of the nation of Israel. Of course, you have to know that our people has been scattered amongst the rest of the heathen, so some of our people may look like the heathen, of course, likened unto the speckled bird. And so you, of course, have to judge the people with righteous judgment via the Spirit. Try the Spirit by the Spirit, whether they are the most high, of the Most High. Alright, the Spirit bearing witness with our spirit that we are the children of the power. So we're gonna get in this wee lesson, my Lamadium, which I'm the brother of Mafpa, Shemya Mafpa. My name is Mafpa Mayan. I'm from Ha Godwala Rakab Machana, the Great Millstone Camp, Ba, which means in Philadelphia, Ayar, or in the city of Philadelphia, Baba Ball in Babylon, which is America, coming with a wee lesson. So this lesson just gonna cover a topic, which this is, I must note a disclaimer, this is a lesson for educational purposes only. Isn't it, of course, a lesson just a so-called bash or bring about Shana, which is hate. Okay, though we, of course, hate evil and love the good, but of course we bring out various rebukes, which is corrections, to our people, and we wake up our people, which are the Israelites, of all of this wickedness, the Zanayim, which is the various whoredom and such, which are occurring, especially being in the days that we're in the last days, the latter days, which we're primarily in Babylon, and scattered abroad across the various winds, in the isles and such. And due to Esau Edom, the wicked ruling, which the earth is given unto the hand of, we have this form of wickedness that has been perpetuated throughout the earth. Okay, so I'm gonna just read this article. I have a couple wee articles, which this says here, where does vaginal odor come from, and what shall you do about it? Now, our Aitha, must note, the Hebrew word for vagina is, I believe it's kwaba, right? So this is an article going about where it come from, and we're going to speak and bring out the edification, the building, and the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Shai from the scriptures, and give you the real and true Amath answer. Okay, so it reads here, most of us have been conditioned to believe that any odor that comes from the lower half of the body is humiliating, Right, of course, with the odor, you of course agitate various parts of the brain, I must note, and it brings about a memory, whether it's a good memory or a bad memory. And of course, a smelly kwaba would bring about, of course, a memorable, a memorable bad memory, which is a nightmare. All right, so of course, Achim, who have been, of course, got to know a shy woman, they of course may have encountered this due to the Zanayim, or the whoredom that goes abroad, which most of the women, they of course don't have the ancient customs, which from our women, speaking of the law, statute, commandments, to of course be married, meaning joined to just their one man for the rest of their whole life. Okay, when they of course have which is sex, which consummates marriage. But due to Esau Edom bringing about all his wickedness, you have other people that go and have various promiscuous relationships, and that leads to, as you see, this this occurring and all other matters of troubles. So it reads here, it says this include farts, feet, and vaginas. But the thing is, if you're someone who has a vagina, which is a woman, okay, a woman is supposed to have that. I have Esau in these days, or in these days you have Esau have even men that been born as men now have a type of opening due to this gender reassignment surgeries and hormones and such, which have some which bring about this confusion of having that. But we're speaking about the woman. It says, but the thing is, if you're someone who has a vagina, then you're also going to have somewhere of a vaginal odor, because that's just how the human body works. Alright, so we're going to go into it. It says, there's truly nothing embarrassing about having a vaginal odor, but countless products on the market of getting rid of vaginal odor has amplified concern. So what's the deal? What's the sort of vaginal odor is normal? And what do you do if your vaginal odor is abnormal? Okay, so it's going to go down and it says here, what causes vaginal odor? Vaginal odor is simply the smell that comes from the vagina, according to Mayo Clinic. That's according to Esau. Often vaginal odor comes from vaginal discharge, which is a clear mucus secreted by the cervix in the vaginal opening, mixed with cells and bacteria and bloody fluid. Alright, note that, mixed with cells, bacteria, and bloody fluid. Now, knowing this whole different body fluids, I'm going to bring out this article, which the article is here, and not that one. And it says, study, women store DNA from every man they've ever made love with. Alright, so I'm going to get to the point quickly. Alright, Kwash. It says here in the book of Isaiah, or Yeshaya Hasapar, the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, and this will be starting at the verse start at verse 12. It says here, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. And we know, pursuing to Job 9:24, the earth is given unto the wicked. So we know that, of course, the wicked, there are oppressors, and due to, of course, Esau Edom having their various philosophies, which promotes the promiscuity, and they, of course, being faithful, or amawana, this is faithful in Hebrew, to your own husband, women, that is. You have, of course, also the destruction of knowing these laws, statutes, commandments. Speaking to the Israelites, you have our women whom are completely against us and against the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, which they, of course, show their praises to the Lord through, of course, serving a man, their husband. Okay, that's in the scriptures. So, as for my people, children, which that, of course, speaking and referring to Esau's. All right. Okay. Now, going on, it says here that I'm gonna go down to verse Isaiah 3:16. It says, "Moreover, thus saith the Lord, moreover Yahweh saith," okay, that's the Lord's name, the Most High, which means He exists. It says, "Because the daughters of Zion, or the daughters of Zion, which means a monument, okay, or haughty, being haughty, of course, being very lewd. When you go into it, goes back to the Hebrew word gabah, which is dealing with your pride, to be exalted lawfully, okay, to be very arrogant in a bad sense. And we know that women are to be what? Modest and chaste. Okay, you read that in some of the precepts of Quadium. Modest. Let's see what we have. Okay, so give me a wee moment as I retrieve the precept. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and 9. It says, "In like manner also the woman adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array." The women right now, they're supposed to be modest, okay? Which, when you deal with being very modest, okay, you go to the Greek, which we have ko-semios, which it means well arranged, seemingly modest, orderly, of good behavior, decorous, okay? Which, going into this word here, decorous, in keeping a good taste and property, polite, restrained, okay? So they're going to be wanton, okay? You're going to be having temperance and such, all right? And having temperance, all right, self-control, would keep, if these women were in the right way, they having under a man and such, a husband, okay, it would lead them to not having the smells and such, and bad hygiene and such, all right? Because these are the laws, statutes, commandments written unto the children of Israel, who, of course, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, the Americans, those has been scattered, the Israelite foreigners are supposed to live proper and such. Okay, you go back and I want to find it. It's in the book of Esther, some of the different cleansing customs, rituals, which our women would do. Okay, let me see if I can find it. A lot of these things are almost nearly lost arts, you know. So let me see. I think it's the book of Esther, and Slocky. Let me see if I have it. Let me see if I can find it off the Apocrypha. Cause it's a good precept to bring it. And okay, let's see. We're gonna search. I think it's like bathe or oils. Let me see. I want to find it. That's wicked. It said that it ain't find oil in. Let me see. Let me check it in the Bible. Shaman, which would be oil in the Bible. Alright, Apocrypha. We're gonna see if we can find it. Slocky again. What I wanted to do, of course, is to find the precept beforehand, but I didn't get the time to. And so, we're just trying to do this manually. But basically, I know that our women used to bathe in oils and such. Alright, shaman, holy oils and such, okay? Yeah, I can't find it at this time, so Slocky, it would have been great to have it, but I just don't have it at this time. So we're just gonna continue on. Alright, and Yahweh Ratzazah go back into revisit the lesson with the precept. So, anyway. Alright, woman should keep well. Simple as that. Keep well. Alright. So now going back to Isaiah 3 and 16, it says, moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion, speaking about the actual daughters, which is Bath, alright, which is Bath, probably Bathium. Let me see. Alright, let me see if I can find it. Let me see, Bunwath. Yeah, it might be they might have Bunwath. Alright. And I'm gonna go to continue though. It says, but Bath is of course daughter in Hebrew. It says, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, making a tinkling with their feet. That doesn't need any breaking down. It's pretty much to the point. Okay, wanton, undisciplined eyes and stuff. You have them, of course, looking about with other men when they have their own husband, walking about mincing as they go. And it says, therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the heat of the daughters of Zion. So the Lord would of course take away and going to in their hair and such. It says, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts, which that would be referring to their actual kobah, their vaginas and such, okay? Secret parts. Okay, open a hole, alright? Female pudenda. Let's see, let me check this out. A person's external genitals, especially a woman's. So you got the path, alright? Path, a pat and a tha in Hebrew. So let's continue forth and reads, it says, in the day that, this is Isaiah 3:18, it says, in the day that the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains, the bracelets, and the mufflers. This goes into the various accessories and such that adorn, beauty of a woman in the ancient world. It says the bonnets and the ornaments and the legs and the headbands and the tabrets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins. Now, when you go, of course, back into like the history, our women were of something of honor, okay, which we are, of course, the Lord's chosen people, the Israelites, the best people upon the earth, a peculiar treasure unto the Lord. So we go to, this would be the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, to bring up a bit under edification. Right, so there's a lot of precepts, which, man, this would bring about what we have. But I'm bringing up the woman being delicate. I'll bring out that precept first. Right, so this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among ye, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. So of course you have that contention between Israelites, okay, a like nation, okay, the various 12 tribes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, it's going to be evil towards one another, okay, and regardless where you've been scattered, okay, you of course have other Israelites that have, of course, likened unto the speckled bird, looking like the other nationalities, okay, the Israelite foreigners. You're going to have, of course, other Jake that may look like it on the outside, like an Israelite, but are hating, all right? So are having their eye evil towards their brother, okay? This is and toward the wife of his bosom, okay? So there's, of course, going to be a actual contention between, all right, the man and his wife, okay? It says, and toward the remnant of the children of his children, which he shall leave, okay? And it says here that this is actually the verse I wanted. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28:56, and it reads and says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. These are curses that have been put right on the nation of Israel, our women and ourselves, okay? So just the point being that our women were tender and delicate. All right, you got rock here, tender, which is soft, okay? They're very feminine, okay? Gentle words, okay? Tender hearted, going on. It said delicate. The word, Hebrew word for delicate is anag here. And it reads here is dainty and delicate, luxurious, soft, okay? She was royal, okay? But new, you have it where, due to this curse happening in Esau, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 30. It reads here, it says, thou shalt betroth a wife, okay, course, betrothed deals with when a woman is being promised to you and such, alright? Being engaged, okay? Exposed, okay? Which that goes back to the Hebrew word there, which is arah, I believe that was. And arash, actually, arash. Okay, and it says, and another man shall lie with her. So our women, we would have, obviously we had our women. They would, of course, be taken away from us. Okay. Other men, of course, would, lie with them. That, of course, being defiled. All right, which we'll get that precept in the book of Jeremiah. It says, "Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein, and thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not grab the grapes thereof." All right, and this is wickedness. Okay, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter either 4 or 3. Let me see. Might be 3. Let's see. Alright, this is Jeremiah chapter 3 and 1. It says, "They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted?" A woman is in a sense like land, because you have a man. He, of course, plants his seed in a woman. His seed are Zerai, which is his seed, which is going into his semen and such. He puts it in the woman. All right. Now, of course, if you have her where she goes and sleeps with another man, and for whatever reason and such, okay, you have it where it being put away, a bill of divorce and such happen. You have it says, "Shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted?" Being that woman. It says, "But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, said Yahweh." And this, of course, goes into, of course, we're likened unto a woman too. And we, of course, have played the harlot, dealing with other philosophies, ways of life, and such outside of the law, statutes, commandments, which Yahweh Shem Yahushai gave unto us to follow and such. Okay. So, when a woman, of course, gets with other men and such, and they, of course, do their acts of sex, that woman is now defiled and such. Okay, so going into this again, let's get to it. It says, "Study women store DNA with every man they ever made love with." And you have it here. It says, "Women retain and carry living DNA from every man with whom they have sexual intercourse." This bombshell discovery has been unearthed during a brand new study in the University of Seattle and Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. It says the scientific study actually discovered the shocker information by accident. Scientists were initially attempting to identify whether ladies who were pregnant with a son are more susceptible to neurological, which neurological means dealing with, of course, your mind, your brain, illnesses that take place more regularly in males. Okay, and just to make sure I'm on point with the neuro, all right, which brain, and says make sure I go into it too. So it says here in the definition, relating to anatomy or functions, organic disorder, nerves, and the nervous system. Okay, we can kind of go more into it. Let me see. I might check right now. I thought. Let's see. Anything with neural, I believe that deals with the brain. But let me check. It says here. Deals with nerves. Okay. Now I might have that mixed up with another word, Slakia, if I'm confused. But it says here, neural, which before vowels, neural, forming element, meaning pertaining to nerve or nerves. on the nervous system. From the Greek neura, nerve, originally sinew or bowstring. Okay, which we know that the nerves and such connect all over the body and such. Okay, and send various signals. Okay, across. Okay, pain, etc., etc. All right. Soul. Your brain has nerves too. Let me see, brain. Let me see, what is the study of the brain? But let me see. I'm gonna Google it real quick. Give me a wee moment. I may be right, but brain. Yeah, neurosurgeon. Okay, so pretty sure I was white. Okay, neurosurgeon. Okay, neurosurgeon is trained to treat a brain and spine. And then you just go into different specifics. All right, so that's good. We're good. All right, so like that dude Ben Carson, who was a seller. He was a famous neurosurgeon, and he's still. Now, yeah, he's in politics and such. Maybe under, I believe, Trump's cabinet, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go check. Isn't it important to know? But I believe he's probably under the Department of dealing with like housing and such. Let me see. Let me just make sure I check. Housing, Secretary of Housing. He's serving as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development since 2017 under the Trump administration. He's 67 years old. Alright, so anyway, going in, you have it where a woman, okay, they found out this information that a woman, she's going to carry the DNA of the partner she slept with, okay? And going in, that's why these women have these ashayim, have these rechayim, rai, meaning evil spirits on them, okay? Because it's from all of these different men they've been dealing with, okay? So it says what they actually found, however, is the female brain is more complex than previously believed. The research found that the female brain is typically harvest male microchromism, or to simply put it, they found the existence of male DNA stemmed from other individuals. It says these cells are genetically unique from those that make up the host, meaning female. So you go into this harvest. I know when you have a harvest, you have a lot, all right, things, right? You have here the yield, the process, or period of gathering crops. All right, so she will have literally the fruits, meaning the seeds of all the men. Okay, and of course, when you go into it, you learn that it's all through her spine and being going off throughout. Like it says here, so 60% of women carry male DNA cells that live in the brain. Clearly, that scientists wanting to know where the male DNA originated from. Alright, perhaps it would naturally assume it would be inherited from the woman's father. No, your father's DNA integrates with your mother to create your special DNA. So where does it come from? It says, it says, though the study of the researchers presume the most likely answer was most male DNA found living in the female brain came from a male pregnancy. That was safe, politically correct assumption. However, the researchers were living in denial since they conducted an autopsy of the brain of ladies who actually had never been pregnant, not to mention with a male child. They are still discovering male DNA common in the female's brain. At this point, scientists were baffled. Despite their confusion, they did the best to cover up the proof until they could understand and discuss it. They buried it in various sub-studies and posts, but if you sort through them all, you find the damning declaration. And there's one that gives the game away and describes precisely where these male DNA cells. Okay, so it says conclusion: male microchromism was not regular in females without sons. It says besides known pregnancies, other possible sources of male microchromism include unrecognized spontaneous abortions. Okay, which you have to get pregnant. You have these women, of course, go and do this act of murder. Okay, thou shalt not do this murder, which is Ratazach. I believe that's in Exodus. Which, just to quickly get that, this is the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter. Okay, this one which abortion, you abort something, you're gonna kill it, but you premeditatedly kill it. All right, you thought before. So here it says here, thou shall not kill. When you go into it in the Hebrew, it says here, la'ah, which means no, tha, which means thou, ratazach. All right, so that's it. Thou shall not ratazach. All right, which means to murder. Okay, premeditated. All right, so you thought of it. All right, you slayed it. And that, of course, comes from obviously a lot of careless, all right, activity. All right, woman has to be kept in straightly, man, for the most part, and so she has to have a guide, a man in her life. All right, a husband. Okay, that is. Okay, and before that, a father. That, of course, is. Of course, and have following the law, statutes, commandments, but our people went completely away due to Esau. Of course, stripping our heritage away from us. All right, we discontinued due to, of course, various prophecies happening and such, though falling away from, in 70 AD and such. But Esau, of course, brought, due to him ruling, he just completely have our people fall in the way of destruction, self-destruction. All right, and there's a lot of different precepts. I don't want to make this video too you would say to a point where Esau is going to try to flag a video, so that's why I'm being pretty composed and such. Okay, so I know that I know that a lot of brothers can be or go in. I can go into, but we're just gonna keep it and keep it clean as possible. So let me see. Let me get a preset. I'm gonna go to the Apocrypha. All right, and go to. And I'm gonna bring up, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter in the Apocrypha, chapter 26 and 8. It says here, a drunken woman and a gather abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. And you have it where a lot of women having a different philosophy and such, drunk off of, of course, going into they being sober, they having, of course, sobriety and such. Okay, they, of course, when they, of course, go and commit these various acts of, one night stands, promiscuity and such. You got all different type of Sodom, assaulting me and such. That, of course, causes great anger, especially to the men. Because we know, of course, isn't it right? All right, it's like Tazadak, it isn't righteous at all. Okay, and of course it grieves us, because it can't do anything about it due to, Esau ruling, was women that commit adultery and all this wickedness, they would be in the ancient world made an example of, But going further, okay, it says that the whole, and she will not cover her own shame, and I'm gonna bring out this. Have here Amber rules here. She shows off her baby bump at 9 months along and year pregnant, and you have it here that she I believe she has a new man, and she done, she go about, she's with Kanye West, Wiz Khalifa, and other dudes. And what you're gonna see, is this prude and such. And I mean, it's just, man, it's bad. Okay, that's her son she had with Wiz Khalifa. That's another man's son. So she's completely defiled and such. But of course, she pushes out like being, proud of who you are. This various zanayim or whoredom and such. So, man, I mean, these things should be private. Private. Not they looking at nakedness and such. But these women are showing off your nakedness. These women, they show it all off and such, flaunting it all off. But it says here, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. You could tell by obviously a woman, right? How she looked and such, And I advise men, of course, in this truth, not give yourself over to a light woman. Right, these easy women and all these whoredoms, whores and such. All right. Anyway, it says, if the daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. Which of course, you have it where women would, if she may, of course, being kept in straitly, all right, she's gonna abuse herself because here is nothing but bad influences. Okay, everywhere you look. Okay, and the woman, she has been deprived of the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, going back to Job 39:17. So, she get that liberated, she's gonna abuse herself, right? Which you kind of see, all right? Where you have smelly vag, smelly koba, all right, and bad hygiene, all right, and other things, okay? Demons on her, okay? She's, of course, schizophrenic, bipolar, and narcissistic. It says she will open her mouth. This verse 12, it says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when she has found a fountain and drink every water near her. But it says by every head she will sit down and open her quiver. A quiver is where the arrow is held in by an archer. It says against every arrow being a mama thun, or what is a penis, alright? But it says the grace of a wife delight her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. It's good when you have a woman that's ordered, which we have these virtual women in the kingdom, alright? It's a grace, to have our favor to have a wife that's delighted in her husband. Women, they just kind of be, of course, satisfied and such, because that and the woman, if you know anything about the woman, she looking at about everything, okay? Which we'll just go quickly and get that. I seem that this lesson is getting a bit harsher and harsher the more I keep going. But it's like it's Genesis chapter 3. It's chapter 3. And it says here, I'm going to start at the top. It says, and knew the serpent, which is another man, which is the wicked spirit. All right, that same spirit that's in Esau, Edom, is in the serpent in the garden. Serpent, obviously, is because he was clying and shot. That's sly and clever, like a fox. All right, it says it's more subtle than any beast of the field, all the different other people. It says, which the Lord Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, it's another man speaking to Adam's wife, which that'd be Eve, which her name, I'm going to that. It's like it said unto the woman, he says, in the Elohim, or in the power, or in the powers, I believe that's Elohim in the Hebrew, said, okay. Let's see if I can check that. Kaya for Amar said, Lahayim, alright, powers. Alright, it goes into it, says La'ah, which means no. And then you go into it. tha, a call, thou, eat. Alright, something that, yeah. A call means to eat or devour. Wa. Alright. So, it says ma of all. But reading in English, I don't want to make it a Hebrew lesson, but just giving you a bit of vacation. It says, ye shall, to the best of my ability, of course, that ye shall not eat every tree of the garden. Alright. Of every tree you had the other nations and such in the garden. Alright. I died. Alright. This is the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Or we may, it says, the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruits of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree that which is in the midst of the garden, God the Most High, or Elohim, well, Elohim has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Alright, and they of course said, you had it with woman. You know, she of course took apart of the different philosophy of the serpent. Right, the serpent lied, told a half lie and such, which you read on, and it says, which I'm gonna read. It says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for powers doth know that day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be gods, knowing good and evil. Because at this time, of course, just all good. All right, and there wasn't any definite, because we didn't sin, or it was perfect or thumb. Alright, it says, and the woman saw that the tree was good for food, you know, there's different various philosophies, and was pleasant to the eye. That's what women do. They, you know, they go and they see the other philosophy, and they think it's good. Alright, which you go into that word for pleasant, which you have tha-awa. Alright, tha-awa, which is desire, okay, a lust or appetite. In a bad sense, okay, a thing desired, and that's bad things out there. You know, that's why, of course, a woman has to be kept in straightly. All right, a daughter. That's like you had said. You said if that daughter be shameless, okay? Because remember, a woman supposed to be shamefaced and such. All right. So going on, it says here. It says. Was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Gave her other philosophies, which are from the serpent. All right, and you go to precept right there quick. There's Sirach chapter 25 and 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad, the troop abroad, gad. Alright, which that means troop. Alright, it says, if she go not as thou would have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. Alright, so, I mean, I don't know, this is a bit, you go into it, this is a wicked, as the scriptures say, wicked and adulterate nation. Alright, or generation, actually, wicked, adulterous. So for the most part, you know, we're committing adultery when we get with these women, you know, because they have been slept with other wicked generation men, you know, and they're defiled. All right. Yahushua said these words here, which I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. Now I'm gonna close off pretty soon. It says here, it says Matthew chapter 16:4. It says, a wicked and adulterous nation seeketh after a sign. Alright, and there is no sign to be given unto it, but a sign of the prophet Jonas, and he left him and departed. The same generation that was back in the ancient world 2,000 years ago is here today, just so you know. Alright, but this is a wicked generation. Alright, adulterous. Okay, now, you know, where you have it where a woman goes and she have sex with other men, and then of course she come back, she pollute it, you know, and she may just completely just kill the whole relationship and then go with other guy and guy, just riding that CC, as they say in the whole MGTOW, that whole community and such. Alright, you can look up that term and such. I just abbreviated it. But she riding that merry-go-round, I must say. And this is how her kwaba gets filled up. Alright, and literally it's sitting in her brain and such. Alright, so you could read this. You out of here. They said that according to science, the possibility of sources of male DNA residing in a woman's brains are abortion, a female wasn't aware of, a male twin that has disappeared, an older sibling transferred by maternal flow, and sexual intercourse. It says a DNA stays in a woman for life. Every male you absorb spermatozoa from becomes a living part of your life. It says the woman autopsies and the research study were elderly. And so they got the woman, that elderly woman, Now, of course, got the mileage on her and such. That been, of course, well past the wall, as they say in the whole MGTOW community and such. She done hit the wall. She done passed her prime and such. Okay, it says some have been carrying the living male DNA inside them well over 50 years. Sperm is alive; it's living cells. All right, and the spirit is in that sperm, right, from the men. So that's why these women got various spirits on them. All right, so that's basically it of the lesson. I ain't gonna go anymore. I am not a spirit, and the point has been made. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Kakodash and double honor to the apostles at Great Millstone who are well. Shalom to the elect, and of course for you women that are trying to follow Yahweh Shem Yahshua, of course you just have to repent from these ways, and of course follow law, statutes, commandments, okay, to the best of your ability. All right, which the best thing for you is to get with a Israelite man if you're named married, okay, with a man of the elect. Hopeful elect, that is, Slakia. Alright, we didn't know if we're elect until we get, of course, delivered, but there's signs, of course, you would know. Okay, but you, of course, if you're, of course, have your own husband, you kind of get with another man. Alright, so that's basically it, what I got in this lesson. It explains itself. Shalom.